So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to work on women's rights today, and we're not actually, there you go, Powers. We're not actually going to get to the suffrage part, which is the voting, but we're talking about women's rights because I, which means all of you, want to know her story. We know history, his story, but we want to know her story too, okay? So that's what we're working on today. I'm going to give you a couple of essential questions.
She just misspelled it at first.
All right, so our essential questions, what we're going to work on. How has the status of women evolved throughout America's history? What events in America's history helped to promote equal rights for women? And this is the question I want you to be able to argue in your paper at the end of this unit. Do women deserve total equality? So each day that we go through these lessons, I want to try to get you here to give you evidence to build this argument. Okay? It's okay if you don't think so. I don't want you to be afraid right now that, no, I don't believe women deserve total equality. That's okay. I'm going to help you to inform that position if that's your position. Does that make sense? Okay. You have a sticky note. I want to get to this piece right here. Do women deserve to earn equal wages to their male counterparts? Do we think that women should earn the same pay as men? Okay, let me put a little piece in here. We're not talking minimum wage. If you earn minimum wage and you go work at McDonald's, male or female, you make the same. Go work at Walmart, you make the same. We're talking about higher paid upper echelon jobs. When you go to college and you get a degree, if you're a civil engineer, do you deserve equal pay? If you're a lawyer, a doctor, a physical therapist, okay, we're talking about those upper echelon jobs. That's what we're talking about. Do women deserve to earn the same? You have a sticky note on your desk, okay? You're gonna build a bar graph, okay, a bar graph. So, Bradley, you guys are gonna go first. Yes, women deserve, and you don't have to put your name on it. Don't have to put your name on it, don't have to put yes, just put it in the column. Yes, women deserve equal pay. No, they do not, or you're not quite sure. Now, will you guys go ahead and put that up there? Beats, your group, please come up. Don't be afraid. And this might change over the course of this unit. It might change. Brandon, your group. Let's go. Tiffany, your group.
Yes, but all the men might want to be.
Really? Powers, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that vote.
It's mixed group.
Don't be afraid, Brandon. You can put anywhere you want. Don't be afraid. Sassy, come on. All right, next group, come on. Okay, that's okay. Alyssa. Ashley.
Don't copy me. Yeah.
All right.
Am I because I'm scared?
I think that I know. Is it because I'm standing here? No one was brave enough to go here. No. It's okay. We'll go there. You'll have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to change your mind. You will. You'll have an opportunity to change your mind if your evidence and your reasoning warrants that position, right? So here we go. Same question. We have, and these are my examples. So I have Coach K, Coach Krzyzewski, Duke University men's basketball coach. Okay, he's cutting down the net because he's won a national title. His team has won a national title. We have over here Pat Summit, who was the coach, the head female coach, women's coach at Tennessee. She stepped down for medical reasons, not because her career warranted, but for medical reasons. She also cutting down the net because her team at this point had won a national title. So a little bit of background. Coach K has sent some players to the NBA. He's won national titles, strong program, Pat Summitt, strong program. She has sent female players since the WNBA has been built, right? Established. She sent female players, her players, off to the WNBA, won national titles. Little piece. Pat Summitt is one of the all-time winningest coaches in all of college basketball, including men. She's up there with Coach Dean Smith. Okay, so accolades for both. Do they deserve to earn the same pay? Discuss with your group. And why? And why?
First of all, they're the same.
Why? Come on. Why? I got you. Why?
Because they're all the same people, basically. They have all the same inside organs. So.
Because they're both good coaches. They both set their players to higher rankings, and they're
Because if they didn't earn equal wages and they have the same job, wouldn't that be kind of sexist?
Maybe. Maybe. Okay. What do you think?
He's as good as a coach as he is. How can they compete? It's really hard
Just as hard?
for that position.
Okay. So same position, same pay, same, as long as they have the same merits, right? Okay. They both have to be winning. They both have to have whatever great players going on to do big things. Okay. All right, Powers. I'm interested.
Well, I think the woman deserves more than the man. Because how you said that she was one of the best winning coach.
I disagree with that. I think they both deserve the same pay. Because they're both at the top, that would be kind of unfair though. Because if they're both at the top, then if one's making more pay than the other, then wouldn't that cause like a huge argument?
Okay. Okay. I believe what Powers and Brandon were just saying though is Pat Summitt, the female coach, should make more because she's earned more, like as far as winnings. So maybe we should do pay based on merit. What accomplishments have you done, and then you make more.
If the man did more, he deserves more. Yeah. If they both did the same thing, it would be equal.
Yeah, if they both did the same thing, then it should be equal.
Okay.
Powers.
Ladies and gentlemen, bringing your discussion to a close, small group. Who's willing to share a whole group? What do you guys have? What did we say? And I heard some interesting conversations and some really good points brought up. Jayden, help us out. Start us off.
Well, it kind of depends on how much they've won, because if he's won more games than she has, then he should probably be paid more.
Okay.
But if she's won more games than he has, then she should be paid more.
So we're talking about being paid based on merit, accomplishments. Interesting. You present that to teachers. Casey.
Well, if they're both, if one's paid more than the other, then wouldn't that be kind of unfair?
Okay. Why? Why would it be unfair?
Well, because if they're both at the top and one's getting more than the other, then shouldn't they get the same pay, or there could be like a fight between which was better?
Okay. So if it's the same job, same position, head coach, same program, they should get paid equally. And what happens if the male coach has more wins? Does that matter? Is that a factor?
Well, no, it just...
He's the head coach. This is what he gets paid. Okay. Okay. Beat, something to add?
I completely disagree with Jake.
Okay. Wow. Right. Completely, however, respectfully, because we know that Beats is very respectful.
I do not think you should be paid on how many wins you have. I think you should be paid on how hard you work.
Yeah.
Woo! Does that go against what you were saying, though, Brandon and Powers?
No, I was going with more what Shelby said and what more what Jamie said. Yeah.
Okay, so it's about effort.
Yeah, effort,
Yeah,
not
because
winning.
there could be someone, like it could totally be the team. Like how well the players are.
Yeah,
The coach could
okay.
not be doing anything. But then if the players are good, but then the coach helps them to be better, I feel like they should be paid upon their like effort or how well they are helping the people they're supposed to be helping.
Okay.
I don't think they should be, because it could be totally based on like the other team that they play against, or
There's a lot of factors in
yeah,
there.
there's too much stuff
Variables
that it depends on.
in science. I have something to add to that, but I want to hear what Quant has to say. Did you have your hand up, Clint? Did you? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Ashley.
So, like, it doesn't matter how many games you've won. It's just about, like, how well the coaches have taught their players how to play in the game. It's not, like, because of the coach. It's also because of the players, how the players, like, listen to the coach and go on with all their plays and how they play in the game.
Okay. So the coach could say, shoot the basketball this way, this way, this way, but if the player doesn't do it, that's not the coach's fault.
Yeah.
And so pay shouldn't be determined on that piece.
One more than the other. Like the coach can try really hard, but if the athletes aren't doing anything, then it won't matter. But if the coach isn't doing anything and the athletes are doing a lot, then it's kind of also a problem too, in a way.
Okay.
It's
Equal responsibility to the success of the team. Beats the only thing I want to move on to the next slides, but I want to ask, just for you to think of, how can we measure effort though? So if you're saying it's no, it's okay. If we're saying it's based on effort, how do we measure effort? I mean, I could sit there and go, I am trying so hard. You guys, I'm really trying. I hope you guys believe me because I really do try, but what if I'm not? Right? So hold on, let me get to the next slide and then we'll...
Please. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, but I don't think, because it could totally be, there's too many variables to test it on how many wins or losses they have had. Like, I understand that she's the most winningest or whatever coach, but there's too many variables. Too many things that it could be based upon.
Okay, we might have a chance to come back to that. Okay, so we have Iron Chefs, okay? We have Bobby Flay, Kat Cora. They've had to do the exact same thing in order to get that Iron Chef status, right? Be a chef. What is society's expectation typically for women? If we're looking at this, cook better? Oh, okay. Zach?
that they're the cook of the house.
That they're the cook of the house. Women belong in the kitchen.
They stay home and cook.
They stay home and cook. Okay.
Good sandwiches.
They They clean. Juliet?
Oh, I was just gonna say they just stay home and cook all day.
Stay home and cook all day, so they're the caretakers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's actually more difficult for women to become a chef than it is for men.
When I think of the word chef, not to be like sexist,
Think of master
but
chef.
I think of like a guy in a really tall hat.
Yeah, a guy. That's typically this position. So should they get paid the same? Right? And why is it more difficult for women to get involved? Okay? So here's the piece. We might be able to generate some more discussion on this. Are men and women equal? Do you believe that they're equal? Here's my couple examples and you'll discuss within your group. Candace Parker, who played for Coach Pat Summitt at Tennessee, one of the first women in the league to dunk. I have seen her play in person. Oh my gosh, amazing. Okay? Sheldon Williams played for Coach K at Duke. Okay? We see him dunking. Okay? The men's United States soccer team, the women's United States soccer team, and we know that the women also took us to 3 gold, right?
I watched that.
Are women
Hope so.
and men equal? Will you discuss within your group? Okay, I don't know that it's against you. I think you had a good point, right, about merit, but support it. Why?
Well, I sort of agree, but I sort of don't, because like when it comes to like other things, you can't judge the pay of a teacher by like how many kids pass because you have to come to the middle ground. So I do it kind of. It's like
Yeah, but you're not gonna want to teach
I know.
if they're making all their students are failing.
you want the teacher hopefully wants their kid to pass, but I mean the coach should want the athletes to do well. But it's kind of it's
If if I was teaching, right, and Brant did absolutely nothing, and every day I'm like, Brant, you got your pencil today, Brant, and he just sat there and put his head down and he did nothing. Should I be paid
Really
basically?
mean that every other kid's gonna do that. Like one kid isn't gonna factor everything.
But what happens if you have a classroom full of kids like that? And are you saying that you don't know any kids? You don't know more than one child that is based on effort? So I mean, I see. So you're saying that hey, women or men and women both should get paid determined on their job, right? Performance. How can we equal that
Well,
out?
I disagree with that for that reason, but I also agree with the merit because of like the environment. Because when you get to the college level of basketball and you've done it for that long and you're that far, you kind of want to try to. You don't want to.
Okay.
You don't want to
Good
just sit
football.
there and do nothing. You want to try to get to the NBA or whatever your goal is. You want to try to win the national championship.
Do you believe men and women are equal? We've got pictures of them the same. Do you believe that they're equal? Discuss.
Well, because
We do believe that men and women are equal, but like what I'm saying is other people, it seems to me that a lot of people think that men are better, like women are better, and like
In what situations can you give me an example of where they might think that men are better than women?
Like sports.
Sports? Okay, so we're talking about that, and we're talking about what would make them better. They're like stronger, they're smarter, they're what makes them
Not
better?
smart women. Yeah, physical appearance.
The physical
Yeah.
appearance, how they look, or abilities?
Both, probably.
Okay.
Because if you saw a football
David Beckham.
football player, and then you saw a female soccer player, they can always run at the same distance. Because sports, they're all kind of tied in.
Okay. Physical abilities, sure.
We were.
Are there any other examples where men might be better, apparently? Besides sports, can we think of anything else
Like-
besides?
I don't know.
maybe the thoughts sometimes like
You were talking about lawyers, like when I think of like the typical, like the stereotypical lawyer is like a man in a suit.
Like technology or hardware where you have to build houses.
Yeah, like hardware stores, like
A carpenter. So do we think that women shouldn't be in that line of work, or they would be?
Because when you think of a carpenter working on your house or like a plumber, you think of a guy. Yeah.
Should you? Are you going to change your mind?
No, because if a man and a woman, if they're both plumbers, then why should they get paid more? Or why should the man be the stereotypical plumber? Because they both have to meet the same requirements to be a plumber.
Yeah, and we were talking about the Iron Chef. Like they had to do the exact same thing to get where they are. So I don't understand why the woman would get paid less because she didn't do any less to get there. She did exactly the same, and like maybe it took one person less time. But what if someone is trying way like so hard, but they can't get it perfect the first time? Like that's not their fault. They're trying as hard as they can, and that's not their fault.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, conversation down. I love that. Oh, what's up? Here we go.
Yes.
Oh, so Ashley's in this. Are men and women equal? And if you think that they are, rationalize. And if they're not, I want to know why not. Rationalize. All right. So Quant's really in this. Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead, Ashley.
So men and women are equal. I mean, the girls can do the same thing as boys can. I mean, it doesn't matter what sex you are. It's the same thing. If I bet you Tiffany can play as good at football as good as a boy can. She can. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, all she has to do is practice to be that good. I mean,
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
I actually hear that you have a great arm, Ashley. And if anybody came from Mamie Tolles and knows Miss Bowden,
Oh, yeah.
same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Great arm, great female athlete. Okay, so Are there any instances outside of athletics? I gave you a couple of examples outside of athletics, but are there any instances outside of athletics where you think men are either superior or no, they're equal? Juliana?
I think with a chef, I think women should be paid more because you said it's more difficult for them to become a chef. So it's like they went through a lot more to become a chef. They should be paid more.
Oh, so they get paid for their adversity. Overcoming adversity. Okay.
Guy.
Tori?
I think actually that they're equal.
Okay.
Because, like in the army, they can put women and men in the front line.
Now they can. They weren't before. Is there any argument for not military? For them not being equal? Because why did it take so long for us to get in there? No? Everybody's on the same. Men and women are equal. You guys are easy. Take a deep breath. Let's find our inner chi real quick. Powers, do you have something to contribute positively to this discussion?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
So I'm thinking they are equal because men and women can work to get the same job. But when it comes to military, I don't think women should be in the military because
they're weak.
Not because they're weak, but because people can do more stuff to the women in the military than like more torture than what they could do to the men.
Yeah.
So you're saying that women can be tortured more than men?
Yes. In different ways.
Yeah, they can do more. Guys can do more things for them.
Like they could be like not on the front lines. Like they shouldn't be on the front lines. They could be, just not on the front lines. Because of capture.
For what? Because of capture?
Because of being captured.
That's your main point. Okay. Casey?
Well, yes, I agree with Ashley and not really with Wesley with the military because they are equal, even though they could torture girls when they get captured more, but girls could be as tough as guys can. So they could be, I think they're not completely equal.
Okay.
So
Victoria?
I kind of agree with Wesley because if, like, let's say they actually, like, captured a woman, more people would be willing to sacrifice their lives for a woman rather than a man.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Almost feels like Dwayne Johnson is someone else.
Really?
Like,
Yeah, interesting. Jasmine, please join us.
So, in order to be in the military, you have to
Right
go
here.
through specific training.
Okay.
So you're good enough to be in the military. And if you're not, then they'll tell you. So, women and men go through the same exact training to be in the military.
Ryan,
so if
put
they
it
weren't
away.
good enough to be in the military, they would tell them. So why should they not be in the military?
Okay. So by the time they get to the position that Powers is talking about, then women have earned their place on the front lines.
Yeah, and they've proven that they are good enough to do that when they're coming.
Let me show you these images really quickly.
Why are you doing this to me?
Brennan wanted to contribute.
Okay, so we have men, soldiers. I was going right where Powers is gonna go, right? You and me, Powers, we're here. Men soldiers. We also have now female, and these are Israeli soldiers. So they're allowing these women to be front lines combatants. And America's just now started on this. Now, when we talk about the torture piece, are we saying that we cannot torture men? I guarantee if somebody went up to my dad or my brother and said, I've got your family, my brother would be like, okay, you know? I don't know. Here's the other thing, if we talk about the physical part of it. So this is a male soldier carrying out a casualty, right? So like what Jasmine says, by the time they get here, they should have done the training to warrant their position. A female soldier and a male soldier doing a push-up, just a little contest. Looks like it's kind of fun, for fun.
Yeah, they're smiling.
Okay. I'm glad this is a little bit dim, but that's me carrying out a casualty. Okay, and I talked to you guys about that. Earlier in the year, right? And so when I didn't feel like I physically could have done this, the training that I went through allowed me to. So then, in the military, should we be considered equal? And are we saying that women, again, for the emotional piece, the torture piece, are women not strong enough emotionally to get by that or get through that? And then I would argue, if we're talking the emotional piece, then what happened to our soldiers during Vietnam War? When the male soldiers tortured, trauma, right, and had traumatic experiences, how did that impact them? And here's the thing, let's go on with the discussion, and we can maintain the discussion for a few more minutes. However, we do want to analyze this song. So let's go with the discussion. Let's make sure it's focused. Brant, let's hear from you.
Okay. Well, I think that, from what I just want to say, I think that they are equal.
Men and women are equal, and are we talking in the military?
I think...
Period.
We're just talking, like, generally, because what I think when it comes down to is, I mean, there's like a border of what men are good at, typically what women are good at, but I think it also it comes down really to or the person, because you do see women doing things that men are typically good at, and men doing things that women are typically good at. So the example in the case he gave was video games. So the women could be really good at video games, and the men could be not, and it just depends on the person. But I think also you don't see as much of like a crossover into the stereotypical borders because of just like judgment of like what people or what is expected of gender in society, because like, you know.
So past roles, expectations for men and women are helping to dictate and maybe restrict that crossover.
Yeah.
Okay.
People they don't want to, like, they're just a little bit afraid of like, what are people going to say if I show them that I do this or if I do that.
Okay. All right. You like that explanation, Chris? Worked? Okay. 2 thumbs up, Brant. We're going to go this way, counterclockwise. Go ahead, Jade.
Well, you said that in the military, their comrades are basically their brothers and sisters. And if somebody, I'm pretty sure that if they saw that their sister was being shot at and like about to be captured, they'd throw their life down for it. So
a female, a soldier?
Yeah, it's just the same as they would with a brother.
Either way, like if you saw like someone that you were really close to and they were about to be like taken or killed, I think you would try to do anything you could to save them.
Regardless of gender?
Yeah.
Regardless of gender.
But
go ahead, Beast.
I think it's taken so long for society to view women as equal because people think that women can't handle like the real world, like it may have been too scary.
Okay.
No, we can. We live here.
Okay.
We
all right.
Live on this earth. I think we should be able to know what's going on outside of our house.
So when we go back to that teaching tolerance piece that we read, when they said men, our framers, right? Our framers thought that women were childlike or not able to make independent decisions or choices. Okay, so you're saying, well, no, that was a long time ago, and no, that's not the way it is.
Yeah, but if we don't make choices and only the men do, that's going to be so biased.
Okay, Powers.
Okay, let me elaborate with what I say. When I say torture, I was going more along the lines of sexual torture.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And I do believe, yes, we could go there. But ladies and gentlemen, and I want to get into a thorough discussion of that, I don't. But think about this. Are you saying then that men cannot be sexually tortured?
That'd just be weird. That would be weird. That'd be weird for me.
But, no, I understand what you're saying, right? So women, oh my gosh, and that is horrible. And in society where we talk about sexual torture, rape, we talk about that, it's atrocious, it's horrible, yes. But then are we saying that men are never sexually tortured?
You don't really see a woman raping a guy.
Well, but it may not necessarily be. Most of the time you see it
and you don't see a guy.
Woman, like I don't think I've ever seen it happen to a man, but I've heard like on the news or on the radio.
On the news, on the radio, so there are cases.
Not saying that women aren't equal, but I've heard it more about women than I haven't.
Oh, and we do know that with many rape cases, women often don't speak out. That's only a small portion. How many, and again, we're not going to expand this discussion, but I understood what you were going with, Powers. I did. I just didn't want to go there. But let you think about this. How many men, if women aren't necessarily disclosing that information, they're not going to say it. How many men do you think are really going to report that something that horrible has happened to them? Understanding, let's talk about pride, let's talk about ego, let's talk about it. Men, you don't hear about that. Because, oh my gosh, and you guys went, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. So just mull that over just a little bit. We're going to move on. McCaskey.
Well, I'd like to go with what Leslie said, like the capturing thing and all that. Like, it's just ethics, you know? You don't just leave someone to, like, get shot at or anything. You know, like, you gotta try, you know? You don't just go like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna watch the fireworks. Yeah.
Okay, so you're, regardless of gender, McCaskey, so you're saying regardless of gender, you're in it?
Yeah, like, it's just ethical, you
I
know?
feel like...
Okay. Zach, and then we're going to finish the conversation because we need to do the song analysis. Go ahead, Zach.
I want to agree with what Shelby said about how it's taken so long for women to become equal.
Okay. It's taken a long time, so we're having to change an entire cultural attitude
That's
of
how
belief.
society's been forever. And now, like, all of a sudden, like, oh, women, you think you're equal? Are you crazy? Like, are you trying to change everything we've ever done? Like...
Well, yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay.
Not crazy.
Okay, Jasmine has something really, oh my gosh. I know. Jasmine has something really fast. Go. I'm passing these out. Hold on.
Juliana said about the chefs, how women should be paid more because they had to do more to get there. That's like saying, okay, so this person has an F in math and this person has an A in math. Then that means that the person who had an F and they get up to an A, does that mean that they should be rewarded more than the person who already had an A?
No, because the person who had an A already, they were already working hard enough to. I'm agreeing with her. They were already working hard enough. They were already working hard enough. Like, I do understand the fact that it's hard to go from an F to an A, but if you already have an A and you have a steady A, that means you are doing what you need to do on time and like working hard. Yeah, you're working hard and you're doing it when you need to, not doing it later after you realize like, oh my gosh, I'm failing this class. Maybe I should try. Like, the person with the A already knew that they had to do this and that way. I do have to say that. Oh, okay.
Let's here we go.
I know. I'm just
Ladies and gentlemen, put a bubble in it. Bubble. We'll finish this discussion tomorrow. Right here. Living proof. This is a song analysis from Mary J. Blige. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We'll read the song together. On the back, there's 3 questions. Well, a few more combined. The first question that I want you to listen for as we read through the entire song, what is the tone of this song and what words help you to know that? What words help you to know that? 2, who is the artist's audience? So who would and we know music is for everyone, but who is the audience, the artist supposed to specifically address? And then 3, what is the author's message and what lines help you to support that answer? You with me, Zach? Thank you, sir. Okay. I do want to caution you, if you say, what is the tone? Please don't focus in on one word. I did say what words, and you can even put lines. We're not going to listen to it today. I do have the song, and we can listen to it tomorrow, but it's long, and it'll take a lot of time. So here we go. You follow along as I read. The Living Proof, Mary J. Blige. It's going to be a long, long journey. It's going to be an uphill climb. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be some lonely nights. But I'm ready to carry on. I'm so glad the worst is over because it almost took me out. I can start living now. I feel like I can do anything, and finally, I'm not afraid to breathe. Anything you say to me and everything you do, you can't deny the truth because I'm the living proof. So many don't survive, they just don't make it through. But look at me, I'm the living proof. Thinking back, life's been painful. Yes, it was. It took a while to learn how to smile. So now I'm going to talk to my people about the storm, Oh, so glad the worst is over. I can start flying now. My best days are right in front of me, and I'm almost there, because now I'm free. Anything you say to me and everything you do, you can't deny the truth, because I'm the living proof. So many don't survive, they just don't make it through. But look at me, I'm the living proof. I know where they're going, because I know where I've been. I've got a few stars they're showing. I'm going to stay strong and keep going. That's the way that I will. Anything you say to me and everything you do, you can't deny the truth, because I'm the living proof. So many don't survive, they just don't make it through. But look at me, yeah, I'm the living proof. Nothing about my life's been easy, but nothing's gonna keep me down, because I know a lot more today than I knew yesterday. So I am ready to carry on, oh Lordy. Okay? All right.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord. In your small groups, you're going to work to answer these together. What is the tone of the song? What words help you to know that? Who is the artist's audience? What is the author's message? And what lines help you to support your answer?
Hey, can I have some left?
What's the tone?
I'll say like she was like relieved, like she's glad everything's like done with and she finally got with it.
Okay, how do you know that? What words, what lines?
I remember this.
Relieved and she finally got what she wanted.
Line 8 says, I'm so glad the worst is over. And 9, because it also took me out. Like, she's just like glad that the bad things are already happening over.
Okay, so relieve that bad things are bad. How do you think someone feels when they've overcome bad things? And just one bad thing, or what do you think?
Like victorious here.
Oh, so what's the tone of somebody who's victorious? Happy maybe? Excited maybe? How would we know that she might be happy or excited? Look for your words.
Number 11, line 11.
Where are you guys at?
10 to 12.
Can't find
She's
the word.
like not confident, but she's like.
Why not confident? Why do you say not confident?
Because we don't want to use that word.
Why?
She doesn't.
I don't know. I just
We wanna
don't think
find-
it's confident, but it's like powerful.
Powerful. Why powerful? Tell me why powerful though.
Go ahead.
Oh, go.
Because
Because she said that. Because she said that it took a while for her to learn how to smile. So she's confident that
And just saying how hard it was, and like how she just keeps going.
Okay, so she's powerful because she's had a struggle and she just keeps going.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
wait,
Go
the
down
word
to
be determined.
Ooh, maybe determined.
That one's bad.
If she's determined, what does she keep saying?
I'm the living proof.
Okay, so determined. Is she going to keep going?
Yeah.
Maybe.
And she said you can't deny it.
You can't deny the
Nothing's gonna
truth.
keep me down.
Oh, nothing's going to keep me down, so she's determined. Nothing's going to keep her down. Make sure you put those lines, okay, or words.
I love how we all
Determined.
flipped our pages at the same time.
Optimistic. Line 12.
11 and 12.
11 and 12. I feel like I can do anything and I'm finally not afraid to breathe. Okay. Anything else? No. How she, let's see. How strong she got over time. Okay. 22 through 31.
22.
22 through 31. What do you guys think?
It sounds like
Sounds like she's been through a lot, and now she's
she has like a strong tone.
Strong, yes. What else could she? What else do you think? Yep, she overcame. Thinking back, life's been painful. Took her a while, but she learned how to smile.
I don't know how to say it. Like she was recovering from pain.
Oh, she's recovering from pain. How do you think you feel when you recover from something that's very painful? It's really hard. Yeah. But she recovered, so she's recovered from it. What do you think you feel like?
Happy.
Hopeful. Where in here does it say, could we maybe possibly get that she's hopeful? Lines 22 through 31.
Start flying.
My best days are right behind.
Nice. You guys are so good.
Thank you. That the women are now officially equal like that.
So you're saying the audience is who?
I'm saying it's mainly for the men because how it said through lines 24 and 31, it says how it took a while to learn how to smile, and because now I am free. I think that whole section's meaning the men need to see and hear that the women are just as equal as them.
Nice. Gentlemen, do you agree? Does that sound good? Yeah.
Okay, the author's message is saying that okay, then put that. Put it. Put it there.
Yeah, I know, I understand you could
Put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, a show of hands, how many more minutes?
2.
2, 4, 3. Like 1.
We're not going to have time to discuss.
That's tomorrow. Okay.
3 to finish? Yes. 3 to finish. You guys need to be in this together, though. One person shouldn't have a different answer, right? You're coming to a consensus. Can you argue your point, though?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think? Where are you guys at?
The question 2, because she thinks it's mainly women. Me and Emily think it's both men and women. Cause not just.
Okay, wait, hold on.
Because see where they're coming from, but it's a girl telling her story, and she's talking about like the struggles that she had to go through in order to get to freedom.
Okay.
So, and we're on the topic of like women's rights, and she's probably older, so
Okay.
she's been through like all of the stereotypical.
How do you know that here? I see exactly where you're going, and there's evidence in here for your position. Where is it?
Like many don't survive, and she's living proof.
Okay.
And thinking back, life's been painful, so that means that. So she,
Okay,
it's like
so she's had life experience?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know she's talking to women?
I was trying to look for something that said
They don't make it through.
Maybe? She's talking to her girls, her people, yeah. Okay, maybe. Okay. Why do you think that men are included in this?
Because not just women go through bad things, and I said there's people who feel like they can't do it anymore, people who just want to give up, because it says they just don't make it through, but but look at me, I'm the living proof. And then thinking back,
Bradley,
life's been painful.
dress code.
Life's been painful, and nothing about my life's been easy. Like.
Okay.
Just
so she's talking to everyone who might possibly struggle and needs some inspiration.
Yeah.
So it's just it's like there's more evidence towards women.
Who do you guys have for message? I want to know who you guys have for message.
Number 2, I think she's saying that her audience is the men, because like in lines right here it says anything you say to me, anything you do, you can't tell the truth, and she's saying that the men can't say or tell me what to do anymore.
I got this one. Okay. So, no, it's talking to men and women, because it's saying men just because we're women we can't do this, but then it's talking to women too. Don't let a man stop you from doing what you want.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you're out of here in 2 minutes. This is what I need. We didn't get through what we needed to get through. Finish up your question. I'm actually going to give you a ticket for you to reflect tonight Come back tomorrow with your answer. And this is what the question is. 2. So now, after today's class, answer these questions. Do women deserve equal wages?
No.
And do women, as of today, deserve total equality? And you need to explain that. So please reflect on that tonight, okay? And bring that ready to go tomorrow.